Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you've been following me for a long time, you know that I live in a fairly small apartment in San Francisco. There are obviously bigger problems when living in a small apartment, and most of it is based around storage. And I've seen my fair share of life hacks, small apartment hacks online, and I think some of them just don't match my personal taste or style. So I wanted to share my own iterations of these in a cute way. If you have similar tastes as me, you may enjoy this. These are just things that I've done recently that have made living in my apartment feel a little bit more luxurious and a little bit more efficient. I've gathered 5 issues and I'm going to talk about how I tackled each one of them currently. My first problem is shoe storage. Where do I put my shoes? They say that when you enter your space, it should be like a clean entryway. It shouldn't feel cluttered. Symbolically, that's very important. And I do believe in that kind of stuff. So I was like having a hard time with having such a messy, cluttered entranceway. And in my home, I have like 3 steps. So it is kind of like a separation from outside to inside, which I do enjoy. So it's kind of nice. It kind of reminds me of like a genkan situation, which is like a Japanese word for the entrance, but it's where you like take off your shoes. And we are a no shoes household, obviously, and all of our shoes end up in the entrance. I tried many different things for this. I used this metal shoe rack from IKEA, but it just felt like a little messy and I knew I had to get multiple of these. For our space, it just looked a little cold and I don't know how I feel about too much metal as the first thing you see when you walk into the home. We tried using one of our wooden benches to store shoes, which was honestly the messiest one of all because there was no separation in the storage, so all of our shoes just kept piling. And my solution for this is the IKEA shoe rack. I actually was lucky because my nail artist gifted me the shoe rack. She had an extra one sent to her by accident. We were talking about storage because we both live in small apartments, and she's like, hey, do you want this? Like, we're not using it and it might solve your problems. It fits around 8 shoes comfortably. If you have like small sandals or small slippers, you can definitely fit more. If you have a lot of shoes, I would recommend getting 2 of these. It's really sleek, it's super thin, it doesn't take up much space, it feels clean, and it cleaned up our entrance massively. If I was to do this again, I would probably invest in a shoe rack. Really loved these colorful ones from Montana Furniture. They're a company based in Denmark. I think you like mount it to the wall, but mostly what I like about it is that the colors are very inviting and cute. I just really love the fact that you can close it off and you don't have to see it. I also really liked Alyssa in the City's shoe display. I think she's a great example of a home where her shoes are probably like works of art, to be honest, and she has so many. I do love a good shoe display moment. I think if I lived alone and I had my own little girl apartment, I would do that. Because it's like 2 people here, I just feel like putting our shoes away is actually the best option for us. So that's my solution to that problem. So problem number 2, bathroom storage. The only storage we had was the storage behind the mirror, the storage under the sink, and then these 3 shelves that came with the apartment. They were open shelving. We bought this IKEA cabinet. It's $159. It's mounted to the wall. It has an oak finish and it looks nice. Honestly, what's really important to me, like I've said before, is clothes storage is a must in the bathroom. Honestly, I would love to have like an aesthetic bathroom shelfie and only buy really cute products, but that's just not the case, you know? Sometimes you just have to buy the product with the ugly packaging because you like the product, and that's okay. So anyway, it fits everything I need, and I think it just goes really well with our bathroom. It goes behind the door because that's the only location we thought to put it. I wouldn't recommend putting it behind a door because sometimes the door hits the cabinet if you're not careful and shift things around in there. So that's like the thing I wouldn't do if I was you. I also found this one on Wayfair. It's like half open, half closed. I love how this looks. It gives me like hotel vibes. Another piece I was always looking at was the Yamazaki home roller. So it's like this really slim bathroom utility cart for storage. And I think it'd be kind of nice to put under my shelf to like store like toilet paper or cleaning supplies or like just extra toiletries that we need in there. And also it could act as a shelf. I can put my makeup there. The biggest thing is I don't really have a place to do my makeup. I really wish I had like a vanity situation here. I'm like considering making one in that little corner, but it's also not super necessary, but it's something I think about. That would be a nice like luxury for my home. Problem number 3, kitchen storage. I love my kitchen. I think it's really cute. There's something about it. It's pretty well made for a small, tiny kitchen. I do think I need a bigger sink though. But anyway, I'm not gonna get too much into my kitchen details because I'm doing a whole separate video about my kitchen. The biggest issue was the tiny pantry that I have. So I have an open pantry on the side of my fridge, which is this wooden insert in the wall. It's really cool actually. But basically everything I put in there is like my spices, sauces, seasonings, coffee, tea, medicine. Like we keep all of that kind of stuff there. The biggest part of my pantry is actually the little section above my fridge, so it's actually pretty small compared to a lot of homes. Yeah, that's where I keep like my rice, beans, flour, sugar, everyday pantry items, and it's in like an awkward location where it's not easy to keep things organized if you're not intentional about it. Usually at the end of like cooking, I would just shove everything back in there, and every time I opened that cabinet it was like a disaster. It was so stressful that it came to the point where I gave in and leaned into the process of putting everything you buy into another container just so it looks clean. So I started with 2 containers. I got one for flour and one for rice because those are the biggest items in there. It kind of reminded me of when I was younger and I had like these containers full of cereal. I think my parents did that a few times, mostly because ants would get in our cereal. I lived in Florida, so you know, tropical places. Converted my cabinet into that, and it has made my whole life so much better, to be honest. It's also made shopping in bulk less scary for me. I actually do that pretty often now, where I will just get granola or rice or quinoa in bulk rather than buying it in a package already. I like that it's reusable. I like that it's in glass and it has a wooden top. It's not plastic. Okay, moving on to problem number 4. My closet space is limited. This room in particular, it's very tall and it has extra storage above. A lot of those things are a little more difficult to reach. I'm talking about like everyday storage that I can access. There are so many like random items that just floated around my house so many times because I had nowhere to put it. So this was something I was talking to Chris about for a really long time, and it was that I wanted to get rid of our Floyd bed frame. If you're not familiar, a Floyd bed frame, it was really popular a few years ago, especially in LA. I felt like everyone and their mom had one. Definitely drank the Kool-Aid on that, and I was like, oh my god, I need this bed frame now. The thing about that bed frame that I don't like is that it's very expensive for what it is. It's not even real wood, which is crazy. It has very sharp edges, so I was constantly hitting my ankles on it, and I'm a pretty clumsy person, and especially in a small bedroom where space is so limited, I needed all the extra room I can get, and those corners like added a like extra 2 inches from our mattress. It just ate away a lot of space in our room. Since the bed frame was so low, it gave us no under the bed storage, and Floyd sold bed storage like inserts, but they're so expensive. For this small room, I was like, this is a bad use of space. I found a bed frame I really wanted. It was super expensive. It was a Modernica one. I think it was like $3,000 or something, and I was like, oh my god, this is crazy price, but I love the way it looks. And we did a lot of digging, and we found one on Facebook Marketplace. It was like a little on the outskirts of LA. We were going down there for a trip anyway. We bought Chris's truck. We got it for a really good deal. It's actually an older model. It's the Modernica Case Study V-Leg bed frame, and we got it for around $800, which is actually cheaper than the Floyd bed frame. Crazy. So we sold the bed frame. We got this bed frame from LA. We drove it to San Francisco. I can't tell you how much I love this bed frame. It has really given us so much room. Choco loves laying under the bed. We have like extra storage bins under there. Getting a slimmer bed frame was game changing for us and has really made the room feel more clean, feel more spacious, and feel a little bit more grown up. And problem number 5, no bathtub. So this is not a problem for everyone. I only added this because Chris and I love baths. Sadly, our bathroom is so tiny and we do not have that luxury. The solution that we found is to upgrade our shower head to make our showers feel more luxurious and fun. This is something we were also thinking about for a long time because our shower head before is fixed, so when I was giving Choco baths, it was really hard to like get him under the water. I really wanted a detachable shower head so I can like really clean him with ease, and this shower head had that. So what we really like about it is the water pressure. It feels stronger. There's a waterfall shower head, and then it comes with a detachable shower head. It also has this feature where you can clean your shower at the end. It's like a really strong jet, which is super important because we have a glass shower, and if you don't clean that every day, it does look really grimy. It didn't completely solve the problem of not having a bath, but it has made my showers feel so much more enjoyable. I think it's like that waterfall feature that makes me feel like more relaxed and like almost like I'm at a hotel. It's not like aesthetically cute or anything, but I don't think it's necessary to get like those really fancy ones that I've been seeing with like the cute colors. I think it just needs to work, and that's all that really matters. Also, there's an option to add a filter as well, which is something I'm thinking about. But overall, 10 out of 10. I really love this shower head. It's made the bathroom showering experience 100 times better. And to the day I get a bathtub, this will do. Okay, I've talked for so long. I hope that was interesting. I've been really wanting to talk about this because it's something I deal with on the daily. I'm also curious if you guys live in a small apartment and have small apartment hacks that really like elevate your living situation. With that being said, I'm gonna go, but I hope you enjoyed this little video. Leave me any comments of anything else you want to see, house related or anything. Okay, bye.